Let's return to the sport. Tomorrow night you can watch live boxing from Accra and Ghana, of course, on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel in what will be Amir Khan's first show as a promoter.
It began in Africa.
I want to start getting into this promotion world now.
Amir Khan returns to world boxing.
I end up bumping into the king's son of Ghana, and he goes, "Wow, I'm such a big fan. I want you to do a show in Ghana one day." I said, "No problem."
I had an opportunity to fight in Ghana, and I had to think about it for about 5-10 minutes. I said, you know what, let's go.
I've got the name, I've got the funds behind me, so I thought, why not?
It began in Africa.
Yes, exciting stuff.
Yeah.
The card features Britain's O'Hara Davis and the cousin of Amir, Abdul Khan, as well as a host of local talent. So that's tomorrow night on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel from 7. We could head to Accra now and catch up with Amir himself. Hi, Amir.
Hey, Amir.
How's it going, boys? You all right?
Yeah, very good, thank you.
This is all very exciting. I mean, you kind of explained in that little teaser there how you got involved. Has it been a long time in the making, this? When did this all sort of start to take shape?
You know, I've been promoting my own fights when I was fighting back in the days, and I decided that now I know the business inside out, and I've promoted my own shows with Golden Boy, with Frank Warren, with Eddie Hearn. I've literally worked with every promoter out there, even Al Heyman and everyone. So I thought, why not do it myself now and start my own Amir Khan promotions, which I had from before, and start putting shows on myself without getting other people involved, like the other promoters, you know. And I thought you have to sometimes you have to get your feet wet sometimes, and you have to give it a try. I know a lot of fighters have tried, to become promoters, and they've never really succeeded. But luckily, with the name I have and the contacts that we have around the world, like now we in Ghana, whoever would have thought that we're doing a show in Ghana? And this was only from a meet-up with the Ghanaian president's son I met in London.
Wow.
And that's how all this come about. So I think it's crazy how it all happened, but yeah, this has only given me the motivation to do a lot more shows, and I want to do another one probably very soon in the UK as well.
What makes a good promoter? I mean, have you borrowed from some of those you've worked with and leaning on your own experience? What do you think is the key to being a good promoter?
I think, how do you become a good promoter? I think looking after the fighters. I work with every promoter out there. You get some promoters who put you in the hardest fights where they can get the most money. I mean, they're the ones that you have to be very careful of. They'll put you in the hard fights. You don't need them. Boxing is you take your small steps. You need a promoter that's going to build you up, and then when you do get to the top, you're going to have all that experience behind you, and then you're going to make the big money and have to win the world titles at the same time. And also, look, we are prize fighters, making sure your fighters are paid well. I mean, it disappoints me sometimes when you look at Hall of Fame fighters, boxers, world champions, ex-world champions that now have retired and they don't have much funds behind them because no one helped them, supported them, or they weren't really making the money that they should have really made. So I want to really help and support my young fighters as well, even if they retired after making a big paycheck. I want to support them because that's one thing boxing doesn't do. I don't think boxing in Britain especially, all I can say all around the world, they never really help boxers after boxing. What do they do with the money? Where do they go from there? I mean, they're so focused on being a fighter and boxing and training that there's no one to help them after they retire. I think there needs to be some scheme out there where we have to start supporting our fighters after their boxing career finishes, because I think that's the help they need the most.
There's been a lot of talk about a kind of equivalent of the football PFA, a kind of professional boxers association, and I think you're right. I think there should be something for the fighters there to give them the advice to maybe help them, because it's not just it's that mental adjustment to life after fighting. It's not just the finances. It's really difficult.
Mental health as well. Yeah. you're 100% right there. It's mental health. It comes down to people get depressed when you're used to training every time. You know, it's crazy because me as a fighter, when I was a fighter myself, I remember probably 2-3 weeks after the fight, I'd feel so depressed. Even though I might won the fight, or even if you lost the fight, even if you won the fight, you're still depressed because your body's so used to being in training camp, being in a routine, waking up in the morning, eating clean. But then, as soon as you stop, there's no one. You've got no training camp. You've got nothing to wake up to. You're just kind of just chilling out and relaxing, and you do hear like a depression side there. You do get a little bit depressed, and I think that's where mental health. We need to start supporting on that side more, because we need our fighters who are going to retire to be okay after they retire, and also maybe go into other businesses like speaking, or maybe if they did make good money in the sport, go into real estate or buying, selling. They need a good team, and that's one thing boxing really doesn't have. The special fighters, they don't really have that team to help them after their career.
Yeah. Tell us about the fight you've got at the top of the bill tomorrow night, Amir.
So big show in Ghana. I mean, first of all, I want to say Ghana is a beautiful country. I never expected it to be this nice. And I was just speaking to Spence, and Spence has spent some time over here. Spence was telling me his days back in the days when he was a fighter himself, spending time in Ghana and training with Azuma Nelson's team and everyone. So he's been here, and he was telling me about the beach. Need to go check that out.
Okay.
He's gonna take me for a run on the beach. But yeah, coming on to the show on Friday night. I want to say a big thanks to everyone that supported it. Tabiti's the main headline fight. I think it's going to be amazing. In any heavyweight fight, you got two fighters who have two big knockout power. They both have knockout power.
Yeah, as we saw last weekend.
Is Tabiti going to win technically? Yeah, is Tabiti going to win with his technique, skill, movement, or is he going to go into war with the whole crowd behind him? I mean, I think we're looking at around about 4,000-5,000 people fan base in a stadium, or maybe more. They were saying 8,000, but I like to keep the numbers low. But I mean, but look, I just feel that, it's going to be a mega fight between Tabiti. I think this is also the WBC Africa title, the first time ever it's been on. They've given us the opportunity to put it on there. So I spoke to WBC, Mauricio, the head of WBC. I said that we're doing this big show in Africa. We need your blessings. The new African title. This is the first time ever an African WBC title is going to be given on a show like this. So, we're making history, man.
We've got Canelo Crawford coming up. You fought them both.
Yeah.
Who's your winner in that one?
Yeah. It's a hard fight to call, Canelo Crawford, because, Crawford is a big guy as well. I mean, I normally would say Canelo because he's a bigger guy, but and normally he's bigger than his opponents, and he puts on the weight well. And when I fought him, he was much heavier and bigger than me. But then again, when I fought against Crawford was as big as Canelo. But I just don't feel that Crawford hits as hard as Canelo. Canelo hits very hard. I mean, his power is, his power is like unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you watch the fight and you see.
Yeah.
Whereas with Crawford's got power. Don't get me wrong, Crawford's got amazing power. But the thing is that it's not that knockout power that Canelo has. Now, you have to understand, I fought Canelo 10 years ago or so. Now, is that the same Canelo that is out there now? But a lot of people are saying Canelo's maybe past his best. Now, with Crawford's come off some good wins, looking really good, but still the age is very similar. Both guys are getting on towards the end of their career. I think it's evenly matched, but I do lean more towards Canelo in this one, even though Crawford's a very close friend of mine and helped me in my training camp for my last fight. But it's a hard fight to call because both fighters are at the top of the game. I think it's something that boxing's not seen for a very, very long time, where you've got two fighters. It's hard to say who's going to win. It is a 50-50 fight. Is it skill or power that's going to win, or is it skill or speed that's going to win the fight? We don't know, so let's see.
And just finally... I'm
definitely going to be there, though.
Oh,
I'm sure you guys are going to be there as well.
There's a possibility that Chris Eubank Jr. could find himself in the ring with the winner of that. I mean, should that be his focus? How do you think he'd fare, or would you like to see another Conor Benn fight?
I think what would make most sense for Chris Eubank would be taking that Conor Benn rematch. I mean, business-wise, it'll make good money. It was a good fight the first time. And I think now if they get the weights right and everything, you know, because I heard that there's a lot of talk with Eubank saying that he was super dehydrated. They would not give him any extra weight. They were really strict on the weight with him. And then with Conor felt so good at that weight, heavy, strong, and he held the power well and held the size well. So I think that fight is something that the boxing fans, especially in Britain, would want to see. That's more of a British fight, yeah. But still, people in America still tuned in for that fight. I mean, I saw some TikToks and Snapchats of Conor Benn walking the streets of New York, and people are recognizing him, saying, "Well done on your last fight. It was an amazing fight." So you see, that's one thing. It's one of these rival fights that do sell well, and I think if they had the rematch, there'll be a lot more eyeballs on the TV for it.
Yeah. Well, I hope it goes well tomorrow night, Amir.
Yeah, good luck, Amir.
We'll catch up with you soon. Thanks very much.
Oh, lovely speaking to you guys, and hope to see you guys soon. God bless. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Amir.
Yes, Amir Khan over in Accra with our team out there, including Spencer Oliver. It's going to be live on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel from 7 p.m. tomorrow. Amir's cousin Abdul in action. O'Hara Davis on the card. So, yeah, boxing. I mean, there's been, I can think of one notable fight in Africa back in the day, which lived up to expectations. So Amir Khan there, thanks to him. Yeah, go and check it out on the Boxing YouTube channel.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.